Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Agustín Durán. I'm 13 years old, and today I'm here to ask you a really simple question. And that is, have you ever felt that your value as a person, as a human being, is determined by your rate of success or failure? Well, let me tell you, you're not the only one. People of all ages are facing this problem all around the globe, from a high school student like me to a professional. And really, I don't blame you, nor them, because I used to feel the same way when I was a little child as well. Nevertheless, this problem has become so widespread throughout so many people's lives, it's really like a wildfire. Nowadays, the only thing that matters are the results, the outcomes of any process, and not the process itself. Whether it is washing the dishes on a Friday night or obtaining a master's degree in quantum physics. Essentially, this is why I am here today, to break this mental barrier that has been affecting generation after generation, to challenge you to think that the process, in other words, how many times you fail, how you fail, and how you recover from the failure are more important than any result, than any outcome. You see, it all started for me when I was a young child. My parents would always encourage me to give my best effort in any activity that I would pursue. This meant trying my best and having a positive attitude towards a given task to achieve the best outcomes. However, I took this advice to a whole new level, eagerly seeking perfection and completely discarding good results. No matter how insignificant the mistakes I made seemed to others, I would emotionally beat myself up. What is wrong with you? You are such a failure. You're worth nothing. Were all things that I used to say to myself when I didn't achieve what I wanted to. And particularly, I would like to share with you the following personal anecdotes. When I was in primary school, to be precise, fourth grade, an important math test was held to determine the final grade of the subject. And the day before this test took place, I studied as hard as I could, seeking to get a perfect score. After I presented the test, I was so proud of myself. I rushed home to tell my parents how well I had done in the exam. It wasn't until weeks later that a big surprise took me at school. When the teacher called us to review our exams, the entire classroom fell silent. And one by one, my classmates bravely stepped forward to confront their destiny. And at last, the name Agustín was called out. And it was then that I stood up and walked towards the teacher's desk. But believe me though, I was so confident I would do well, I didn't even bother to worry. Guess what? That's right. My results, my score, it was good. Some may say excellent, but it wasn't perfect like I wanted it to be. Those numbers hit me right between the eyes. Although I thanked my teacher, took my exam, and sat down at my desk, I was boiling with anger inside. And when I got home, I was so frustrated with myself, I just let myself fall onto a couch and started crying uncontrollably, not bothering to answer my parents' rain of questions. It wasn't until the next day that I could finally sit calmly and listen to what they had to say without pouring my heart out. And honestly, I didn't bother to pay attention to 95% of their lecture. But one thing, one idea, it kept on storming through my mind. And it was the following: my parents, my role models, my inspirations, they gave their best effort in anything that they did. And even then, the results weren't perfect. In other words, they faced the same situation as I did and couldn't do anything about it. Now, this made me come into sense. No human on this planet is exempt of failure. Not even the people I consider to be impeccable at the time, and the people that continue to be my inspiration. Now, I slowly began realizing that failure, error, should not hold us back, but rather help us perform better in the future. We will always make mistakes, and this is a fact that we must confront. Error doesn't choose sides or people. Therefore, it is inevitable to learn to cooperate with failure if you want to be successful in anything it is that you do. However, you must embrace the fact that in any journey you commence, difficulties are bound to arise, and that really you can't do anything to control them, nor unforeseen actors. You must just learn to live with them. Nevertheless, I still couldn't understand why failure hit me so hard in every step that I took, until with the help of my parents, I got to know who I was, a perfectionist person, which is basically a mind framework that induces people to want to control everything around them, even results. And actually, you would be surprised to know that 92% of the world's population is negatively affected by perfectionism, according to Five Financial, and that the toll of people presenting these traits increased by 10% by 2016 in comparison to the late 1980s. Wait a second. According to these measured trends, it seems like perfectionism or any traits associated to this framework, mental framework, are negative. But that's not true at all. It is just another characteristic that you must learn to live with in order for results to appear in your life. Of course, this depends on a crucial factor: you, your best effort. And really, this isn't another loathing practice you may have heard of at home or even at school, but is rather the key to success in anything that you do if you know how to implement it accurately in your everyday life. Although this may seem to you like just a concept or a distant topic, it really just is a habit you must begin to live by in order for amazing results. For results you will have never imagined achieving to start flowing into your life. Remember, you cannot control the situation you're going through. You cannot control the circumstances. The only thing you can control is how you react to failure and how you overcome error. And that's fine. That's what makes us human. Making mistakes is what makes you human. Making mistakes is what makes me human. And making mistakes is what makes us human. You must always bear in mind that every mistake that arrives in your life isn't there to destroy you. It is there to teach you something. It is there to make you greater than you already are. And every time you feel failure is getting the best of you, stop, take a pause, and think. Put things into perspective. Think something like, yes, I made a mistake, but to this mistake, there is a solution as well. And if you need it, seek help from friends, family members, and other trusted companions. Now, you must always remember this: All the battles that you will wage in life, all of them, absolutely all of them, aren't against mythical creatures like in fairy tales, but rather against yourself, against your mind. And it is something you must learn to do by embracing failure and using it to grow as the most powerful tool you have. Always looking forwards towards your goals, your ambitions, and the goals, ambitions, and the desires you seek to achieve. Now, the true aim in life is not really to, I don't know, get a job or get a certificate at a university, but rather to live a life in which success, in which achieving goals is the result of constant, consistent failure. The true aim in life is to enjoy and learn from failure just as much as you cherish the results. Thank you.